Hello everyone, this is Evergreen. Welcome back to the Vanilla Minecraft series. Now let's get to bed before zombies come and storm the gates. Now, if you missed last video, we got a lot done. We got a new enchanting table, we got to explore the nether, we got our nether portal up and going, and we are going to go exploring because we're going to find a new cave system to explore. The one that we've been exploring, honestly, I think is about dried up of everything, every sort of resource that we could potentially need, and so the time has come to go on a new adventure, which we are fully prepped for with enough food, torches, and a bed, and a lodestone compass to point us in the direction of home when we're ready to come home. And we are off! I hope everyone's day has been really good. As of recording, I'm chugging through. Now, just as a reminder, I am recording all the videos from the 19th of December all the way to the 2nd of January all at once because I'm going to be on a vacation with my family for the holidays. Well, vacation for me. I'm going back home. It's really nice, and I have no idea what my emotional state is going to be while I'm home, or what even is going to happen in my life while I'm home, but regardless, these videos are going to be going up, and it's going to be a great time, and I hope everyone enjoys it. So, it's going to be fantastic, and everything's going to be okay. So, I don't know. I hope everyone's day has been really nice. It is Tuesday, as of this video coming out, so it would be, I think, 3 days until Christmas, which, like I said last time, is the holiday that I celebrate. So, I wish everyone a very jolly Merry Christmas. I'm probably, well, even while recording this, I'm in the jolly Christmas spirit, but I hope I probably will be even more feeling it when the time comes as we move closer to the holiday itself. I hope everyone who celebrates Christmas is having a great time. If you celebrate any other holiday, I hope you're also having a very good holiday season. At this time of year is always very nice and special and great, and never really have any issues with having a jolly good time this time of year. Honestly, I'm probably getting myself mentally ready for Stranger Things, which is a show that I do unfortunately watch. And I say unfortunately because the fandom of that show can be a little much at times, and a little crazy, and a little over the board. But I love the show. I love the show so much. I remember back in, I was in 6th grade when the show first, or no, actually, I was like in 5th or 4th grade when the first season of the show came out. Because I remember being young enough to recognize what my parents were watching, but not old enough to actually join them in watching it, because it was, they deemed it was too scary for my little brain. And, you know, watching back season 1, probably I wouldn't show it to someone who's like 9 or 8. Might be a little intense at times. That might be a little much. But, you know, as I got older, I was like, because I went through a major upset, like, 80s phase where I was just obsessed with anything from the 80s. If you remember in my video where I talked about my musical interests, I mentioned that my favorite band around middle school was a-ha. One of my favorite bands was a-ha, and that was about the time that I got into a-ha, because I was like super into anything stylized like the 80s, and that would be one of the reasons why is Stranger Things started to maybe be like, ooh, you know, the 80s were a really cool time to be alive, except not for me as a racial minority. So, hey. But it's still cool. It's still cool. I still love it. I started watching it in about 6th grade because the girl that I liked at the time loved the show. And so I remember one evening I got myself together, comfy on the couch, and opened it up with a cup of tea and started watching Stranger Things. And I binged the whole thing in one night. The whole thing of season 1 anyway. By the time I was watching it, season 2 was coming out. So I think like episode 1 of season 2 had come out. So I watched all of season 1 in one night, and then the first episode of season 2. And actually, no, because I think it all got released at once at that point in time. Maybe. I don't remember. I remember watching all of season 1 in one night as season 2 was coming out, though. That I can say for certain. I just can't remember the order in which I watched season 2, and if it was over the course of weeks or over the course of a few days. But regardless, I remember being cuddled up on the couch with a cup of tea, texting my crush at the time all about the show as I was watching it. and that was a very fundamental part of my upbringing in middle school, was watching that show, and it was my gateway really into the horror genre as well. Because I mean, for a 6th grader, Stranger Things can be considered horror, I feel, and so it got me into that area of film as well. Ooh, a mountain! Look at that. That's beautiful. This whole area is beautiful, actually. I would not mind building here at some point. Would not mind at all. And I love all these flowers. This is great. Honestly, I might build an apiary here. That would be pretty cool. Now, if you don't know what an apiary is, by any stretch of the imagination, an apiary is, at least to my understanding, my very simplistic layman's understanding, a area where bees are harvested for their honey. And that's pretty cool. But I think that area might be good. Oh, look at this. This whole area is pretty nice. Look at this valley. Wow. Wow. We didn't really explore much in the first episode to start our base off, and I am very happy with the area that we have our base. I love the little lake that we have, and I think it's beautiful and perfect, but this is also really nice. This whole game is just beautiful, dude. And I don't think it would have been bad to have started here as well. But Stranger Things. So Stranger Things, I was watching all throughout middle school as season 2 came out, and then I was consistently watching it since then. Now, I wasn't watching it with anyone. I was watching it on my own. My friends weren't really as into the show as I was, so it was unfortunately just me. But, still love it. Still loved it until season 5 came out, which I watched volume 1 over Thanksgiving with a good group of friends of mine, including one of my roommates, the one that I always talk about. And we loved watching it together, and we're going to watch it together the day after Christmas on the 26th. Now, to give some thoughts on the show, season 1, I think, is one of the best seasons of television ever. I think it's shot beautifully. I think that the whole aesthetic of the show perfectly captures not the 80s themselves, but the 80s and how they're portrayed in both film and historical texts in a beautiful, beautiful way. Oh, look at this mountain. I want to climb that mountain. I'm going to climb that mountain. I'm going to do it. But I think it's a very good representation of the 80s in terms of how the 80s were perceived by other people that enjoyed that time. I think that the writing is really solid. All the characters are really enjoyable. Joyce is amazing. I think that's her best season, and I think it sucks because Winona Ryder is amazing, and they could definitely give her more, but they don't, and it hurts me. She just got turned into the mom, like the overbearing mom, when she's always been that bitch. And I mean bitch as in, like, she's always been that bitch as in fucking slay, fucking kill it. A bad bitch, a fucking badass motherfucker. But no, turn her into the overbearing mom character, please. Let's forget about the Joyce that was swinging an axe through a wall. And they kind of brought that back, but not in the way that I would enjoy it in season 4, because she's still just so overbearing and just protective, and they turned her entire character into her being a mom, and that sucks. One of my least favorite tropes is whenever a female character in a show happens to be a mother, and then the first season is really good, and she's a really well-developed, complex character, and then the second season is just turning her into a mom, and just keeping her as only a mom, and there's... Oh, God. Oh, cough. Oh, God. Cough, and I'm sinking into the snow. Oh, dear God. That was awful. No, I hate whenever that happens, though. I hate whenever a truly interesting, complex character just gets turned into... Oh, she's a mom. She's a protective mom, and that's her character. La-di-da. That sucks. That sucks. I'm also gonna harvest these tree saplings because because I love the cherry trees. I think that they're really cool, and I like cherry wood as well. I think it's one of the better woods that we have. Whoop! I see that iron. I'm coming for that iron. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Too much. Too much in this cave. Too much in that cave. Oh God, no! Okay. Keep moving, keep moving. Oh God, not again! Not again! Oh God. Oh no, this is bad. Okay, it's fine. It's actually fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. Whew. Okay, this has snow. See, you gotta watch for the snow layers on top. That's how you know it's safe to walk on. Alright. All safe. Okay, there we go. Back on regular ground. Thank goodness. Panicking there for a second. A little too much happened all at once. But Joyce is great in season 1. So is Mike. Mike is amazing in season 1, actually. I really love Mike in season 1. Something that I really have always loved about his character is that he sticks it to any authority figure he can, because he always knows what's going on. He perfectly encapsulates what it feels like as a kid to be right about something and no one believes you because you're a kid. He is that character. He is that. And I think it's amazing. I'm going to blow my nose real quick because I feel a little stuffy because I think I've been talking too long. But give me 1 second. Oh my god, so much better. Okay, so Mike in season 1, perfect example of what it feels like as a kid to be right, and then adults are just like, no, you're a kid. Shut the fuck up. And the vindication of knowing that he was right, dude, only can be matched by Joyce Byers, the woman who's always right about everything but is always shut down because she's just a hysterical woman. Oh my god. There's this one phrase that I have seen from a Stranger Things YouTuber that she repeatedly uses for Stranger Things in general, especially for Joyce, which is always believe women, which, first of all, just true. I know that phrase has been not necessarily about, like, conspiracy theory, but is always more about sexual assault. But in that manner, yeah, you should always fucking believe women. You should. It shouldn't be that hard of a concept to grasp. But even without going there, even without talking about that and getting, quote-unquote, political, which is another stupid thing that I don't want to get into today, because this is a video that I'm going to talk about Stranger Things and not, quote-unquote, politics, when in reality it's just don't be an asshole and believe women. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Joyce. This YouTuber always uses the phrase, always believe women when it regards Joyce, because she's always fucking right about literally everything, and everyone's always like, no, Joyce, you're just crazy. Ooh. Okay, no, there's nothing really here. Everyone's always like, no, Joyce, you're just fucking crazy. No. Why would the magnets falling off your fridge has nothing to do with the secret facility. Or no, it started off with, season 1. In season 1, it started with, oh my god, why can't I think? Season 1, my child is alive, and he's in another dimension, and there's a monster coming after him. Joyce, you're crazy. That ends up being the truth. Season 2, there's something wrong with my son. I think he's possessed. We need to get him checked out. This isn't just PTSD. What? Joyce, no. You know nothing about post-traumatic stress disorder. This is just trauma. She ends up being right. Season 3, my magnets keep falling off my fridge. I think that it's more than just a funny coincidence. I think that this is something to do with the facility, and maybe something shady going on back at the lab. No, Joyce, what the fuck? No, never. Why would it be that? That doesn't make any sense. She ends up being right. And season 4, hey, I got this weird message. I think Hopper's alive, and I think we need to go save him. What? Joyce, you're crazy. Why would Hopper be alive, and why would he be in Russia? Guess what? He's alive and in Russia, and Joyce is right. And for season 5, it's been less that, because technically... Ooh, I got a pop-up on my computer and it paused my game. How rude. I got a pop-up for a security, because once you get a new computer, most of the time, like, I don't even really know why I'm explaining this. A lot of people already know this. When you get a new computer, there's a lot of pop-ups for advertisements for like virus protection and all that, and I keep on getting them, and it keeps on opening my game and pausing it. By the way, this is another beautiful place that I would love to build in. Just thought I should mention, because this is great. A baby goat! Look at you, little guy. Oh my god, that's adorable. Oh my god. But so season 5, Joyce really hasn't had that yet. I feel like it is going to end up that, because and this is going to be spoilers for Season 5, so if you haven't watched Volume 1 of Season 5, I suggest you click away, or skip forward 10 seconds. Please don't click away. Please watch. Please continue watching. Please, 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 please. My viewer retention. Please, please! Oh god. No, 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 no. Oh god. Nope, that's more. That's powdered snow. You can tell because it's, like, slightly different looking. That's good. Okay, that's good. Alright. But, so spoilers for season 5, volume 1 if you haven't seen it, but Will gets powers, and the entire time, they're trying, like, everyone's always pushing Will to explore his connection to the Upside Down, explore more his connection to Vecna, and use it to fight back against Vecna and all this craziness. And the entire time, Joyce is like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that this is going to end up going badly for Will. I think that it's going to damage him. It's going to hurt him. He's not strong enough to take care of that. He's not strong enough to manage that. And he shouldn't have to in the first place. This is crazy. And Volume 1 tries to paint Joyce as the overprotective parent. And like, oh no, she's just being paranoid. Will's got this. Will is stronger than you could ever believe. And he's so capable. And to an extent, yeah, I think that's true. But I think that Volume 2 is going to explore that, like, hey, Will's powers aren't actually all they seem to be. And it has something to do with the Mind Flayer. I know it's going to have something to do with the Mind Flayer controlling him or having some influence over him, and that's why he has powers, and they're going to have to figure out a way for him to cut off his connection to the Mind Flayer, and it's going to lose his powers and all that craziness. And his powers are not going to turn out to be a good thing. They're just not. They're just not going to turn out to be a good thing at all in any capacity. And I 100% believe that with certainty. And it's going to be another... Joyce was right. Joyce was right. Except for this time, the audience is like... The audience is mainly like, oh, Joyce, shut the fuck up. Stop being an overbearing. Is going to be proven to be just like all the other members of Hawkins that always call Joyce crazy, because I think she's right. I think Will is overextending himself. I think that he shouldn't be exploring his connection with the Upside Down. I think that's dangerous and terrible, and I think that it's going to eventually almost lead to him being fully possessed by the Mind Flayer, like Henry Creel was, which is a spoiler if you haven't watched the Stranger Things first Shadow is the name of the play. Because in that play, Henry Creel, as a young boy, gets lost in the caverns in Utah, and he ends up finding a rift between the realms and encounters the Mind Flayer, who starts to slowly possess him and gives him the abilities that he has. And it changes him to the point where when he comes out of the caves, like hours later, he has a different fucking blood type. Which is insane to change your fucking blood type. That's crazy. That's at some crazy levels of power to be able to do that. How are we gonna do this? If you don't remember, the purpose of this adventure was to find a lapis. So that's why I'm rummaging around, trying to find... Oh god. I see that. I see that. I see you, little cunt. No, you can't run. Oh god, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have chased him. Oh god, no, stop. Stop. Oh! Little fucking cunt. You little shit. You fucking stabbed my knees, and with your little teethers. That's not nice at all, you little bitch. But no, I think that, Will is just being slowly possessed like Henry Creel was, and we're going to see signs of that in Volume 2. That's going to end with either Will being fully possessed or them severing the connection between him and the Mind Flayer. Or, you know, maybe it'll be left on a cliffhanger until we get to, what is this? What the fuck is that? Block of raw copper? You can find that in nature? That's a thing? I thought you could only make that. That's cool. I wonder if you can find that with any of the other ores. Like, could I find a block of raw iron? That'd be pretty neat. That's like 9 iron ingots in one. That'd be pretty damn sweet. But yeah, so that's where I think Volume 2 is gonna go. So we're gonna explore, like, oh, Joyce was right this entire fucking time, and all of you are fucking assholes for not believing her, including the viewers themselves. I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be cool. My thoughts on the show in general have... It has gone down in quality since the beginning. I will say that. Season 1 is, bar none, the best season of the show. I don't think that's really debatable. I think Season 2... Oh god, from where? Oh, right there. I think Season 2 is close in quality, but it's still got a lot of issues with it that I'm not a big fan of. Season 3 sucks. I'm gonna say it right now, and you can come for me all you want. I think anyone who thinks that Season 3 is the best season of the show is a major red flag. Because it only is good in terms of the aesthetic. That's the only thing it's got going for it, is that aesthetic. It's got... It is the most character assassinating part, like, season of the show. Mike is a fucking asshole. 11 is just an idiot who just goes along with whatever Mike says until the point that she's not. And even then, she never really confronts Mike for being a liar and an asshole to her. She just decides, like, oh, he was an asshole, but he said, I'm sorry, please take me back. And decided, like, no, yeah. No, he said he loves me. He said he loves me, don't you understand? So I have to forgive him for lying to me directly to my face and choosing not to see me and not fight for me from my dad. Yeah, that makes fucking sense. And I guess Dustin and Robin and Steve, all their stuff is great. I really like Robin. Robin is amazing. I love Robin. Maya Hawke is a great actor, and I think that she is one of the few actors who, because she is arguably a Nepo baby. I don't think that's up for debate. Her parents are Uma Thurman and fucking... what's his name? Ethan Hawke. She's a Nepo baby. However, she is extremely talented and has more than made up for justifying her placement in the acting industry. I think that all of her performances have been really solid, and I think she's a really great actor who has shown that she's more than just a Nepo baby who didn't earn her position in Hollywood. Because I think that she's more than shown that she deserves the positions that she's gotten and the roles that she's gotten. So, those are my thoughts on Maya Hawke. You can fight me if you disagree. Fuck you if you do. Yeah. What else? Season 3. What else is bad about Season 3? All the Russian stuff sucks, dude. It's better in Season 4, I guess, but... The only reason it's better in Season 4 is because they got actual characters to the Russian faces, which isn't saying much, because, like, that should have been the case from the beginning if you're going to introduce such a subplot like that, you know? And of course there's Alexei, but he's the protagonist. He's a good guy. He's one of the heroes, and he's the tragic side character who dies in Season 3. So he doesn't really count. Give me an interesting Russian antagonist, you know? At least the guard, the head, the prison warden, he had personality, dude. He was a real character, and I don't remember his name, so that only speaks to how good his character was, quote unquote. But at least he had a fucking character. At least he existed. At least he's a little bit memorable. I don't remember any of the Russian antagonists from Season 3. I remember there's the Terminator, and that was it. The rest of them are like faceless baddies for me. And that's like the extent of depth that the Russian characters go to in Season 3. And Billy, God, Billy, okay, we need to talk about Billy. If you are one of those people that thinks that Billy is a misunderstood, redeemable character, then you are a fucking enabler and probably an asshole in your life and a real drag to be around. And, you know, maybe it's not your fault, but Billy is an abusive, racist piece of garbage, and I don't feel sad that he's dead. I don't. Yes, he had a sad childhood, absolutely. And, you know, part of me, as a child who went through abuse, I completely sympathize with Billy's childhood and the way he was treated as a young kid. Absolutely. My heart bleeds for Billy as a child. Billy, as an adult, actively chooses the decisions that he does. He actively chooses to be a terrible person. No one is forcing him to be racist. No one is forcing him to be an asshole to Max. Even, and you could argue, oh, his dad put those values on him. His dad put those values on him. If he really cared, he wouldn't be like that whenever his dad is not around. He would only behave that way when his dad is around, or when someone who is under his father's influence is around him. Not when he's alone in the car with Max, who clearly doesn't share the same values as her stepdad. And he legitimately, he swerved out of the way, but he definitely would have hit those kids if he had just a little bit more of an incentive to do so. He would have hit our main cast of boys if he just felt a little bit more angry that day. And definitely would have killed at least 2 of them. And then he breaks into, first of all, he breaks into Jonathan's, the buyer's house, and out of all the kids in the room, singles out Lucas alone to blame for why his sister's gone missing, and takes out all his rage on him. And he's a fucking homewrecker. He is a homewrecker. Now, don't get me wrong, Ted is a human toe, and Karen is a goddess. That doesn't justify him fucking homewrecking their household, especially since, and this is another thing about Season 5, is Ted, at the very least, has always seemed like a good dad to Holly, or at least a loving dad to Holly. Like, that's his little girl right there. And that shot of Ted and Holly on the couch cuddling and sleeping together, that's really sweet and shows that Ted isn't a complete asshole, and he does actually care about his kids. And that's really sweet. And they just completely ruined that for Season 5, where he's just a jerk to his wife and his daughter. And Karen's not perfect, but, like, Ted's a toe. Ted is a toe. Do not be mistaken. Ted is a fucking toe, dude. So that's what I think. That's what I think. And Billy, back to fucking Billy, dude. Because Billy also sucks. Billy also is fucking terrible. He's racist. He's an asshole. And he has a sad childhood, yes, but that doesn't make up for the fact that he's an asshole adult. And he is in no way redeemed. Just because he saved 11 and stopped the Mind Flayer does not redeem him from being racist, okay? I guarantee you, there are so many people in history who have done so many great things overall for humanity, but have been assholes in person and terrible people in person. Without a doubt. I guarantee you, like, you don't even have to go that far in history to find people who, oh, you know, like, this person made a very important scientific innovation that helped boost humanity's progress forward. They also found that by experimenting on African Americans during chattel slavery. Like, for example, most of our neonatal care and most of our care for pregnant women was developed through pretty much experiments on African American women during chattel slavery. Some of the most horrific stuff that our country's ever done. It produced modern medicine for pregnant women and understanding how pregnancy works. Does that mean that the scientists that did that are amazing, redemptive people? No, they suck. They're the worst of humanity. They're the worst fucking of humanity. And I realize that I'm comparing this to fucking Stranger Things. The fucking Stranger Things show. But to get the point across that you don't have to be a good person to do good things. You can still be a fucking terrible person and do good things because sometimes it is genuinely too hard to not do the right thing. And in that case, when you're faced with, I could continue to be a racist asshole, or I could let the world end. Of course, Billy is gonna choose to stop the world from fucking ending, and it doesn't help that 11's white as well. I guarantee if 11 was black, he would have just let her fucking die. He would have said, "This is what you get," and then, like, said, "Ronald Reagan, motherfucker," and it would have just left her to die. Like, fuck that, dude. And he just sucks. He just sucks. I don't like him. He just fucking sucks, dude. What a terrible fucking character. Well, no, a good character. What a terrible person. A good character, a terrible person, is what I should say. That was way off topic. I just have a lot of thoughts and feelings about Billy. I think that he's a sympathetic character in some degree, but in no way a redemptive character who's deserving of our love. And especially when people are like, oh, he's going to come back and save that. No, he's not. If Billy came back, he would not be saving the day. If Billy came back, he'd be hitting up Karen in the hospital. He'd be hitting up Karen in the hospital like Homelander did to the neo-Nazi in fucking The Boys. That's what he'd be doing. do not be mistaken, he would not be chilling with the crew and being like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And that leads me into my favorite part of the next season, which is season 4, which is Max's character. Because I think that given everything I just said about Billy being an asshole, her feelings about Billy and her guilt around her guilt and sadness and grief about him dying is amazing. I think it's amazing because it creates such a complex character for Max. Because if you've ever lost someone in your life that was abusive and terrible, it's not that simple as your life is perfect now that they're gone. And ooh, is that I think that is. That's a dark down there. So I'm going to need to be careful. But if you've ever lost someone who was abusive in your life, you know that the feelings that come after are not as simple as, I'm glad this person is dead. First of all, there's the guilt about, and they address it in the show. First of all, there's the guilt about being glad that the person is dead and that you don't have to suffer the hands of their abuse anymore. There's that guilt. And then there is the grief of losing someone who was a part of your family, someone who was very close in your life. You know, maybe they weren't the best person to you, but God, they were still a big part of your life, whether you realized it or not. And so her speech at his grave about missing him at certain points in her life, missing that part of her life that he was in. Despite the fact that he was an asshole, despite the fact that he was a jerk, and despite the fact that she can acknowledge the fact that her life is better with him gone. Yes, him dying overall had a very positive impact on her life. Her mom left. Ooh. That's not great. That's not great. That's not great. That's not great at all. I was too distracted by the Stranger Things commentary. Okay. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. So I guess it's going to be next video. Trying to find our shit again. Okay. Well, that's our first major setback. I'm not happy about that at all. That sucks. Okay. So that's going to be the end of our Stranger Things discussion today. I really like Max's arc. I'll probably continue ranting about it in the next video, honestly, since these are being recorded back to back. Or maybe not. I don't know. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to comment down below. Tell me how your day was. Tell me your thoughts on Stranger Things. If you watched it, tell me your thoughts. I would love to hear them. I know that it was very much a stream of consciousness, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll write it all down and make a video out of my thoughts for the show, especially once the show ends. And if you did get this far in the video, consider liking and subscribing so that way you can stay up to date on new releases and new videos coming out, and you can stay up to date on this little journey and see what happens in the next video, because this is a cliffhanger, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my stuff back, and I really want all that stuff because it was very nice and a lot of very nice shit that I had. So with that being said, make sure to get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, get plenty to eat, drive safe, wash your hands, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.